What's up, you damn plebeians? Neil with the Bald and Plebs, joined here tonight by my brother,
Mr. fucking YouTube. Baby!
Hey, Mr. fucking YouTube, let's talk about Blasphemous. We got our hands on a demo recently, and I have to say, even I was impressed.
That's not blasphemy.
God.
Wow.
Jokes. Shut the hell up.
Comedy career.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Are you selling tickets?
It's slow.
Is it?
It's slow.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
Do you give tickets away?
Can't.
Okay. Just want to make sure. However, let's get back to the topic at hand here. I got a couple deaths, so if you got a few more of those zingers, please. Because I die about 3 or 4 more times.
No, your gameplay is hilarious enough.
Good. Thank God. Hey, at least one of us is funny, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I'll see myself out. Blasphemous. This game.
This is good, people.
So this was something that I kind of showed to you. It was about, I would say, 2 to 3 months ago on a whim, thinking, this has got Jdog, this has got Mr. fucking YouTube written all over it, just by the gameplay styling and just by the graphical style. I know you really get into that.
So what does Mr. fucking YouTube love? 2D, Metroidvania,
masturbating with razor wire. That's why my comedy career is flourishing, by the way. It was funny.
2D Metroidvania with tight combat, epic boss battles, and a little gore. Yeah. Now, what are we getting here? 2D Metroidvania, lots of gore, good combat.
Epic boss battles?
Yeah. The one we fought here in this demo was pretty epic.
Ten Piedad, right?
Ten Piedad. Yeah, good fight. I like this. So what do I like here? You've got kind of a Dark Souls setup, let's be honest.
Oh, definitely.
Since nobody can, come up with their own systems anymore, and copying Dark Souls is the easiest way to get attention these days.
And to sell your game.
That's what everybody does. I am willing to allow it if it's done well.
Absolutely.
So here we go. We've got your bonfires, basically, right? They resummon all the enemies. They allow you to heal. You got your Estus Flask set up with the way that you heal. You've got your mana that you use for different abilities, and then you have different things that you equip to upgrade your sword, to give you special magic attacks, increase your defense, blah blah blah. Right? That's basically what you got going here.
Yep.
So kind of a slimmed down Dark Souls approach. What I like is some of the different branching environments, right? Some of the secret areas you can find. You're hitting the walls to reveal items. This area where you went down there and actually got that item, I didn't find on my first run. I did not realize you could drop down right there.
Well, when I fell down and died the first time, I saw little levels that looked like this here, and I thought, those look like something I should be able to grab onto and touch onto. I'm like, well, if I die, I don't, I'm not going to lose anything, so who gives a shit? I got nothing to lose. And I thought it was really cool.
So you've got some of this execution style stuff. So this definitely has kind of the gore ramped up to a 10,
Absolutely.
Which is not going to be a disappointment for me.
No, and quickly diverging from the gore concept, but talking back about this exploration concept that we were just on for a moment, this game doesn't feel like it discourages exploration. It's because, like, when I die, which is going to happen undoubtedly right here, I don't lose anything.
Yeah, and so I'm not sure if that's going to be in the final build or not.
Yeah.
But let's talk about that for a second. You do have, like, your little death thing that you got to recover because that, like,
it gives you back some of this stuff here.
Yeah,
you lose some of that too. Yeah. Yep.
So you've got that penalty, but you don't lose items.
And it just went away.
Yep. You don't lose items. You don't lose experience.
Yep.
So it's kind of one of those, like, situations where, you're going to give a little bit of a penalty, but
it's not crippling.
And we still want you to feel like you're making progress, especially if you get into probably some of the harder parts of the game. I died quite a few times on my playthrough, maybe 8-10 times. I was probably trying some of the moves and different things, maybe more than I would have in the real game. But at the end of the day, this definitely had a challenge to it that I don't find in a lot of games.
No.
This seemed to be relatively early, right? We didn't have a ton of abilities.
Yeah.
Things like that. And I thought the challenge was on par. On point. Yeah.
For me, of course it was challenging. I mean, don't get me wrong, and I expected it to be going into it. But, let me ask you this. Was this really any of the enemies you fought, or even when you got to the boss, did it really feel like it was impossible.
No, it did not feel insurmountable, and that is something I liked. When you died here, I felt that it was my own fault, and that's really important to me.
It's super important in a game like this.
I never want to feel that a death was...
Because of shitty game design?
Shit game design, enemies that do ridiculous things, anything like that. And I didn't feel that way. I felt that the deaths here were my own idiocy. They were maybe being too aggressive.
Could it be that you're bald?
Well, obviously.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Oh, for sure.
Also that we use Microsoft Edge.
That too. And you have a potato for a piece.
Yeah, that's the problem.
So,
of course.
Lots of reasons. But it's for the most part, I was too aggressive. I was not anticipating the enemy's attacks. I was jumping on spikes. I was, doing stupid shit.
Trying to rush some parts that you shouldn't. I know there was the one with the little fireball shooter, and then there's the spikes, and you got to dodge and jump and dodge and jump and climb and get up. But you're not supposed to run right away. You're supposed to dodge again, and if you don't do that, you get hit, and then you get hit by the other thing, and it's a clusterfuck. So you got to be aware of what's going on.
So that was definitely, like I said, it's your own damn fault.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
I do too.
I also learn, right? I also say, oh, hey, time to slow down here. Time to, be a little more cautious. Do this part a little differently. Come back later after I gained a few levels or a few other abilities, right?
Yep.
So, again, it's feeling that, yes, there is progress to be made. And if I am not making progress, it was my own damn fault. I like the way the levels are. It's almost like they're gated initially, and then as you move through, you continue to unlock shortcuts that allow you to either do some leveling, some boosting, things like that, or you're able to move forward much faster. So I really appreciate that. I like the way the levels are set up. I thought that was very well done. And I liked some of the verticality here as well. Levels going, multiple levels in each room.
Being able to go up, down, left, right, and explore the hidden walls, like you were saying before, and even your attack direction being able to attack upwards, or sideways in the air, or jumping up and attacking up in the air too. It helps you hit those extra combos on some of them aerial enemies, which we'll see later, of course.
And you're going to need that because enemies come at you from all directions in this game. You've got they'll do the low attacks. You've got the basic ones doing the mid-range attacks. You have flying enemies that are going to hit you from all over, and then some of them even have homing projectiles, which is freaking ridiculous.
I learned with that enemy the best way to defeat them is to just push the pace.
Yeah, but so you definitely have a level of you're not going to be able to just focus on attacks always coming at you right at your midsection, right? You're going to have attacks coming at you around your feet.
360 degrees.
300, basically. Yeah. And so I think, for me, again, it creates variety in the enemy type you're going to face and in the challenge you're going to face. You can't really be super comfortable here. And again, this felt like relatively early in the game to me.
Yeah, I don't think this is super
So,
late.
to see it at that level this early...
So here's be a great example to show us multiple enemies in the same area that do these wild, crazy attacks. It'll be a chance for us just to kind of see what we're talking about with that wild 360
Yep, so you got the one enemy here on the ground, and he can attack either your midsection or basically towards your feet. And then you have these guys that fly, and the only way you're going to hit them is to do a jump attack, and they shoot homing projectiles.
So you saw there I did a jump double attack, hit the ground, slid to dodge his jab, and got behind him to finish him off.
Yep, that was pretty well done.
See that aerial attack there?
Up attack
super important.
Is really important, especially with the amount of
absolutely
flying enemies that apparently you're gonna
and
fight.
even like the throne sitter guys with the spears, super important that you use that aerial attack on those guys too. So.
Damn pixel perfect combat,
right?
hitting you in the bottom of the foot.
So I knew this room was coming, right? I knew this was going to be a fight, and I don't actually remember if I handled it very well or not, but I do remember specifically that this wasn't as bad as I expected to be. So you can just look at how important it is that you push the pace with these enemies, because if you don't hit them, they shoot those homing missiles at you. And so that's why it's so important when you see them on the screen like that. Just push that pace. Get after them, and really, and that's one thing I like is it encourages a more aggressive playstyle at times.
You've got certain enemies that do encourage that, and you're going to have certain enemies that encourage a little more, you know, dodge, attack, dodge, attack, dodge, attack type of play style as well. So I think they're varying it up very well here, which I like.
Really cool, yeah, really, really cool. And you'll see how I handled him with the jump, the double attack, this upswing, all that stuff. You know, stuff I didn't see you doing when you played through it, and I think that's really cool.
So, you know, in this short demo, and this is a relatively short demo, we had multiple prayer beads, multiple different abilities for our sword. We had 4 or 5 enemy types, a couple different NPCs,
which I really thought was cool.
A Rockstar boss.
Awesome.
That was a pretty good fight.
Really cool boss fight.
So, damn, that was quite a bit to showcase in 20 minutes.
Well, you know, and that's and that's the thing about
multiple branching paths, multiple. We had a vendor, which was cool.
Yeah, that was awesome.
A really neat vendor. We had a bunch of hidden walls, tons of items to collect. So you guys know I'm a big fan of that stuff.
You know what the vendor reminded me of? The vendor from Dead Cells.
Ah, yes.
Where they show the 3 items, you can click on
I
them.
couldn't remember what the hell he reminded me of, and that is exactly right. It looks exactly like the vendor room in Dead Cells.
Well, you know, Dead Cells, the game that just shook the world last year. It's amazing.
It was a very good game.
It's fucking fantastic. And I got a lot of, other than like, you know, using the same weapon, I got a lot of Dead Cells vibes when I was playing this game.
It certainly has that sort of dodge, attack, evade, attack sort of mentality that you get from a game like Dead Cells. Certainly not quite the pace is not the same by any means, but there are some comparisons to be drawn, I think.
Absolutely.
So I also think what you have here is a very deep lore. When we looked in our item menu or equipment menu or whatever, each of these items had not only a description, but an actual lore tab to them. Yeah. And I'm not talking like 2 words, I'm talking like a freaking page of lore that's kind of behind this. So this looks like it's well thought out and actually presents a kind of an interesting, you know, story and take, which I really like.
What that does is it helps you to believe, it helps you to build, build a believable world that you want to at least invest your time in if you're going to sit here and play through a game like this. You know, and you can liken the same thing to like writing or reading a book.
That's right.
And, you know, if there's the lore and there's the backstories and there's all that other stuff that goes with it, you're going to be more likely to invest and want to experience it to the fullest, which I have to give credit where it's due. Dark Souls does that so damn well.
They do.
And a lot of Dark Souls' lore is...
It's within the items. It's within the descriptions, right? It's within the environments, right? And you've kind of got a lot of that going on here. This is kind of neat and very interesting. You look at the aesthetic here, right? The multiple level aesthetic.
Yeah, look at this, like the whole background and everything. It's so cool.
I really like that. I like what we're seeing here. This is one of those games where it's like you kind of want to explore and find every room and see what else there is. That for me is very important in games. I want a game that challenges me to see all of it. I hate when I feel like I've seen 50% of a game, but I'm so bored with it that I don't need to see the rest of it.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
True.
I've had that experience a lot, and I don't like it.
Can we just take a moment to appreciate how I'm brutalizing this boss?
You did very well against this guy to beat him on your first chance. He took me 5 chances, I think.
Yeah, I heard you down here raging and screaming. I almost wish I would have, gotten the recordings from that, because that would have been a great rage compilation.
I was raging.
But here's the thing: we look at stuff like this all the time. It's a boss with tells.
Yep.
And you can learn the attack patterns as you get him down to a certain point. He does new attacks, he does new things, and he deals more damage, and it goes further out. I really like that. Yep. I thought it was a really smart boss design, and it was something that made me say, you know what? I would do 5, 10, 15, 20 more of those. That was cool. Let's see what else you got.
Yeah. So you had a boss, again, that had what you would call maybe like multiple levels, right? Where he starts off, his attacks are kind of basic, they're easy to avoid, and then the more you hit him, the more ferocious his attacks become, the wider the range, the more damage, right? And so it's an escalation, right? As you continue to defeat the boss continues to pressure you.
I like
right?
that.
It's not just like you're going to be able to fight like 2 or 3 basic moves that you see right away. This ensures that you're constantly on your toes.
Yep.
Right? Remember so many old school games, like you'd have like the boss, you have like 1 or 2 attacks, you could pretty much hide in the corner and damage them and kind of cheese them.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see that here.
I didn't see a lot of cheesing in that fight.
No, there wasn't any. No, there wasn't. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like it's good.
When the boss, his attacks consistently change throughout the fight.
It keeps you
from being able to just kind of basically X your way through
triangle,
it, right? Yeah.
X, triangle, L2.
And I like that.
Yeah.
So I saw a lot of good things in this demo, guys. I really did.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited for that because this game is definitely on my buy list.
Absolutely. You know, if this is any sort of a sign of what Blasphemous is going to bring to the table, I think, you know, we just talked about Bloodstained, Ritual of the Night the other day. I think we've got another serious Game of the Year candidate for you.
I hope so. You know, I was a little let down by Death's Gambit last year. I know that was a game I really was looking forward to.
You were excited for it.
And I was a little let down by it because I don't know. It just didn't do it for me. Not just from a storyline perspective, but a combat perspective either. For the most part. It seemed like you either were powerful enough or you weren't. And so I'm hoping this is a little bit better tuned and definitely a little more interesting than I found that game on an overall level. I love the look of it. I'm picking it up September 10th when it drops, and we will be playing it.
Awesome.
So very, very excited for this, and this demo definitely made me want to play it.
Awesome.
So
awesome. Any last thoughts, Mr. YouTube?
I like what I played here. Very excited for another round at it.
Cool. Plebs, we want to get your thoughts on Blasphemous down in the comments. Like the video if you enjoyed our breakdown here from our experiences with the Blasphemous demo, and we'll see each and every one of you right here next time for more honest content like this.
You're welcome.
GG, Plebs.